Hey guys, Brian here, and today I'm going to be talking about Skyrim, specifically the new Skyrim 3-part full-length demo that they just released Monday, September 13th, commentated by Todd Howard. First of all, I just want to say that the game is very beautiful. It's just gorgeous. I love looking at it. Second of all, let's just jump right into it, actually. The new engine that they're using is called a Creation Engine, and it's awesome. There's a there are new third person animations for anyone that actually wants to play in third person. That's pretty cool. There are dual wielding combos like spell on spell, weapon weapon, weapon and shield, weapon and spell, things like that. Another cool thing about the dual wielding spells is if you put a spell in the same spell in both hands and pull both triggers, you can make a bigger and more powerful version of that spell that you equipped. Another thing that they came across while playing the game was the 13 standing stones, or well, one of the 13 standing stones. Each one gives you a special ability, but you can only have one at a time. Another thing they showed off were the cool finishing moves that you can do on enemies. Specifically in part 1, they showed it on a bandit and some wolves, I believe. There's a new character menu with stats and a 3D model of basically any item that you have in your inventory, including miscellaneous items, scrolls, armor, anything like that. And you can manipulate them within the menu, which is pretty cool, and that will come into effect later. Another thing they showed off was the new skills menu, and you can look at the skill menu to look at your skills and see how they're progressing. Each skill has a perk tree in the form of a constellation, which you build upon each level, because each level you can pick one perk. Another thing they showed off was the new 3D map, which is basically just a zoomed out render of the whole world, so that was really cool. The NPC interactions are different now too. They're all in real time, and they're not stiff like Fallout and Oblivion, their previous Bethesda games. They're all like doing some kind of activity. Like, for example, in part 1 they showed him talking to a blacksmith while he was sharpening his axe, all in real time. Another thing that showed off in the first video were some of the different environments, like the snowy mountains. There, in part 2, they showed one of the dungeons. There are over 150 handcrafted dungeons, which means they're all unique. They showed off the new stealth system at the beginning of part 2, and how bows work and whatnot. They showed a few new enemies like bandits, skeevers, giant spiders, and a few others. There's actually a scene where he came across a guy who was trapped in a giant spider web, and after you release him, the man runs away, shouting that he didn't want to share his treasure, so you chase after him and kill him, and then you check his body and you find a journal, which you read, and then a claw, which will come in handy later in the dungeon. And so later in the dungeon you come across a dungeon puzzle, which some dungeons have in the game, and basically what you had to do for this dungeon puzzle, which is a more simpler one, was you had to match you had to do some kind of combination using emblems, and the golden claw happened to have the combination on the bottom of it, which you can see by going into the menus, picking it, and manipulating the item. So that's how that comes in handy. Another thing that they showed on the second video was the what they call the word wall, which is basically you go up to it and you learn dragon words, which will help you out later when you're trying to you use those dragon words to you combine them to make a dragon shout. Something they showed in part 3 was the mundane animals, which are basically like two. They showed two, which were a giant and mammoths. Those are pretty cool, and he actually ended up attacking those in the video to show what they're like. And after he attacked them, a dragon swooped down and picked up the giant, and then went high up into the sky and dropped him to the ground. So some stuff about dragons. After killing a dragon, you obtain a dragon soul, which helps you unlock your dragon shouts. A dragon shout that he actually unlocked using dragon souls and the dragon words that he got earlier. He got the storm call shout, and basically what this does is there's a huge storm with lots of lightning, and that lightning came in handy when that dragon was flying around high in the sky, and it got shocked by lightning so many times that its wings got disabled or something, so that dragon was forced to go to the ground and fight on ground. After that, the guy basically just finished off that dragon with a really cool finishing move. Oh, another thing they talked about in the video was the guilds. There are 4 guilds: the Companions, which is basically a warrior faction; the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and College of Winterhold, which is for mages. And then basically part 3 is the end, and it just ends with the man finishing off the dragon and then absorbing its soul. So yeah, that's kind of, I didn't really go that in depth into the videos because I really want you guys to watch it. I will put 3 links into the description. And yeah, you guys should probably watch that. It's amazing. Thanks for watching my video.